When able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. This is what's happening right now. Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. So I've had some revelations about geopolitics and foreign affairs in the last 24 hours. You guys know I've been following this stuff that's been going on in Russia and the Ukraine because I do believe it has global implications. And I've been sharing my anecdotal reports that people have been sending me from all over the world with you so that you get a more qualitative assessment of what is really going on the ground, how that may or may not contradict the mainstream media narrative, so that you can have a sense of what is truly going on. Because what we know about modern warfare is that all war is based on deception, and now that's more true than ever before. So when Russia says they're pulling their troops back, most people will think, oh great, things are going better now. But I absolutely guarantee you, when they say that, our military is on the highest point of alert that we will ever be on, because this is all about deception. It's all about what's called stratagem in the art of war, okay? It's all about making your enemy and the public think one thing when your intention is to do another. You see, the less information that people have about your plans when it comes to war, the greater the likelihood of succeeding. So 90% of it is about the element of surprise. So if Russia says they're pulling things back, that's when you need to be on the highest degree of alert. And people who are in higher positions within the military obviously know exactly what I'm talking about. You see, there is a war going on behind the scenes that we don't see. That whole James Bond double agent, triple agent thing, that is occurring. Although it's occurring differently now than it perhaps was at the height of the Cold War, because of all the new satellite technology and cyber technology that we have at our disposal. What we are seeing on the surface is just theater. And the real war is being waged behind the scenes in espionage, subterfuge, and what's called stratagem, trickery, deception, okay? It's all about seeing many, many chess moves ahead. And that's what this is all about. When you have two superpowers warring with one another, the outcome of a war is going to be determined basically right when somebody fires the first shot. So we're living in an age where the margin for error is so small, where the difference between winning or losing a nuclear war, and some people are going to say you can't win a nuclear war. Oh yes, you can. You absolutely can. And this is why they're building anti-ballistic missile systems and hypersonic missile systems, because if you have a half an hour advantage, even 15-minute advantage over your enemy, and you can neutralize their ability to wage a counteroffensive by taking out their capability to do that, you can virtually win a nuclear war. Everything that we're hearing about the narrative, everything that a country is saying is virtually useless information. In fact, it's almost better to believe the exact opposite. So if they're saying there's going to be a de-escalation, you can almost bet that it's escalating, because you want your opponent thinking the exact opposite of what you're doing. If I'm going to attack you, the best situation we could have from my point of view is you believing the complete opposite of what I'm about to do, to always be in that situation where you have no idea what's going on. And in an email that I read yesterday for you guys, this analyst who's been sending me this information has said that, I think this is just a ploy to keep us all confused and guessing about what's going on. And that made perfect sense to me, because as indicated, one of the first rules of the art of war is that all war is based on deception, especially in the modern day when you have so many different channels that you can wage war against a country, be they economic wars, trade wars, internet troll farms, Cyberattack, asymmetrical styles of attack like biological threats or EMP threats. And we live in the information age, so you have this multi-dimensional information war being waged in the run-up to World War III. So what we are seeing right now is exactly what we would expect to see. It's not just going to be, I declare war on you, and okay, we're going to start the war on this day. No, those days are long gone. You may still see that when you have a superpower versus a smaller defenseless country, because then it doesn't matter. So if you say have the United States declaring war on Iraq, yeah, they can declare war, because there's really no need to play this whole game because you have such a superior advantage. Of course, when you get on the ground, we see that there are those other cultural components, those economic components, those asymmetrical tactics which are employed by the insurgency, which ultimately led to us losing that battle. So if this was 70 years ago, the war would have already been declared. The war would have already been on. But because war is so multi-dimensional nowadays, and because so much is at stake with respect to the outcome of war. I mean, if we had a war today, the death would be in the giga-death level. You have megadeath, which was 1 million deaths. You have kilodeath, which is 1,000 deaths. Kilodeath was, back like thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt. That was when you had the ability of us to wreak havoc on one another, and the loss of human life was measured in the thousands. World War II era, it was measured in the millions. The next war, it's going to be measured in the billions. So much is at stake. Every country involved knows that the first move, the first one to fire the shot, you better make sure that that's the perfect shot, because that shot is going to determine the outcome of the battle. The term 4D chess doesn't even really do this justice. So when you're seeing Putin and Biden talking and your brain is trying to make sense of this and trying to make you think that this is what is actually determining the outcome of what's going on, no. It's the people behind the scenes. It's the high-ranking military officials, it's the intelligence agencies, it's stuff that you're never going to see, and you're never really going to hear me talk about on this channel either. Look, somebody called me out yesterday and said, hey, this information is not classified. And I said, yeah, of course it's not classified. I don't want to be leaking classified information. Do you see what happened to Julian Assange? Okay, so the information I'm providing is a qualitative perspective about what the media is presenting to us in a quantitative fashion. So they're giving us this surface level explanation of what's going on. I bring you guys information about how the more detailed specifics of the armaments that they're sending to the Ukraine, that they have expired battery packs and they may not even work, and that there's going to be X amount more shipments delivered inbound. So we're expecting dozens and dozens more planes of these armaments being flown to the Ukraine. So the notion that this is all diffused now, and the Russians know this, okay? There's also the time factor. Even Putin and his main advisor were having a discussion about, and they had an open discussion, and this is all for show, okay? They want you to see what they want you to see. But they were having a conversation about how it's as if they're trying to stall us so that they can get ready longer, because the longer they wait, of course, the longer they have to get ready. But the fact is, we don't even really know what's going on the ground. We don't know what kind of sleeper cells Russia has in the Ukraine, or vice versa, or who has spies in every which direction. We don't know what's going on from a cybersecurity standpoint. I'm being told that Europe is on heightened alert for cyber attacks right now. I'm getting reports of heightened military activity from around the world, which is far above the background baseline. So we know that something is going on. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is take everything you hear in the media, and I'm not saying just believe the exact opposite. I'm just saying that you're going to be the last to know. The news is going to be the last to tell you the absolute truth about what is going on, because from a strategic perspective, when you're dealing with two of the world's biggest military superpowers who have the ability to annihilate one another, the stakes are so high that every move is calculated. And I don't just mean like 2 + 2 calculated. I'm talking about a very long-winded algorithmic calculus equation to determine what is going to happen next, right down to what the conversations that are staged so that we think that we have sort of a sense of what is going on. I would encourage you all, read The Art of War, because it is playing out to a T right now. When able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. This is what's happening right now. Hold out baits to entice the enemy, feign disorder, and crush him. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is superior in strength, evade him. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak that he may grow arrogant. Let me know what you guys are seeing on the ground in the comment section, because that's really the best information that we have to go on at this point. Understanding that there's always going to be military maneuvers ongoing in any country, but what we're looking for is there stuff occurring that is abnormal? Is there an abnormal, heightened amount of military activity within your region? What are you seeing? What's the intel on the ground? Let us know in the comment section below. We must also not take these anecdotes as absolute fact, and we must also be aware of what's called the confirmation bias, by which we're just seeking to confirm our own beliefs and looking for evidence that supports our existing positions. You must also look for information which conflicts with that position if you truly want to know what's going on. Because remember, guys, this is James Bond behind the scenes. There's a whole multi-dimensional aspect to the war that's going on right now that we do not see. Let me know what you make of all of it. Thanks for watching. Canadian Prepper out.